So Isaiah Thomas signed a 1-year deal with the Denver Nuggets. It is the veteran minimum. He signed for $2.4 million and only a 1-year deal. And now I want to give you context to this contract. Here's the context for this contract. 2 years ago, Isaiah Thomas was an MVP candidate. Isaiah Thomas was almost the NBA MVP the year Russell Westbrook won. And Isaiah Thomas was expecting to get a ton of money in free agency when he eventually hit the free open market. And so when you see a guy like Isaiah Thomas only sign a 1-year deal worth $2.4 million, when 2 years ago they were talking about backing up the Brinks truck to give him as much money as possible could fit. Literally, the joke was in a truck. I respect that he signed for so little money. And that might sound weird to you. You might go, couldn't he have gotten more money? I think yes. I do think that Isaiah Thomas could have signed for a bigger deal, a slightly bigger deal for slightly longer. But I think that Isaiah Thomas is betting on himself. Isaiah Thomas is saying, I'm going to prove I deserve more money. And so he's taking less money now so he can go to a good situation in Denver and potentially make more money later. Denver's a good basketball fit for Isaiah Thomas. The Nuggets are a borderline playoff team. It's a chance for him to showcase his talents, and he might have some success there. And if he gets them to the playoffs, that looks even more impressive. And I think it's interesting to compare Isaiah Thomas taking a risk and taking a chance betting on himself. I think it's interesting to compare Isaiah Thomas to the Warriors signing Boogie Cousins. So if you remember, Boogie Cousins signed a 1-year deal with the Warriors, and it was the minimum. It was as little money as he could possibly sign for is what Boogie Cousins signed for with the Golden State Warriors. He signed for $5 million. And it's an absolute joke to pay an NBA All-Star big man only $5 million. That is the steal maybe of the century. That's a joke. For a guy of Boogie Cousins' caliber to sign for so little money it's ridiculous, honestly. It's silly. But I want to argue a different perspective I've not heard yet. Nobody is arguing Boogie Cousins' perspective. Nobody is saying, maybe Boogie Cousins did the right thing for him. Because I think that signing with the Warriors was the best decision for Boogie Cousins, the player and the person. And I think that it's similar to Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas signed with the Nuggets. I'm taking a risk. I'm betting on myself, and it's the best thing for me long term. I think that Boogie Cousins did the best thing for himself by signing with the Golden State Warriors. Now, that's obvious at first because you go, well, he's going to win a championship. But I think it's much deeper than that. Boogie Cousins is coming off of an injury, an Achilles injury. And what I like about this move is that the Warriors do not need him. And because the Warriors don't need him, he can take as much time as he actually needs to recover. He can fully recover before coming back and playing in the NBA regular season. He could wait until after the All-Star break, and the Warriors would be just fine. They don't need him at all. If Boogie Cousins had signed with another team for more money, expectations would be higher. They're like, we're paying you $18 million. Come on, man. Let's get going. We want you back by November. We got to get you back in the lineup as soon as possible. And the pressure of coming back from an injury is gone now because Boogie Cousins signed with the Golden State Warriors. There was no pressure for Boogie Cousins to return to the starting lineup immediately. In fact, there's no pressure at all. He could wait until the playoffs before he plays, and they're going to be fine. I would rather them not if I'm a Warriors fan, because I would say that, I want him to learn how to play with the guys at the very least, but I'm just saying they don't need him. And that benefits Boogie Cousins if he's coming off an injury, which he is. The other thing is this. Boogie Cousins signed a 1-year deal. Boogie Cousins took less money now to earn more money later. It's very similar to Isaiah Thomas taking less money. Boogie Cousins wants a contract that is as big as possible. And the contracts that Boogie Cousins desired were not offered to him. Boogie Cousins did not have the options that he wanted, so he's going to take another year, try to improve the view of him, show he's healthy, show he can play at a high level, and try to get a better contract next year. That makes sense to me. Not to mention, now the obvious one is that, Boogie Cousins will probably get an NBA championship out of it. So less money, no pressure to come back from an injury. Potential to sign for more money later is what Boogie Cousins decided to. He decided to, I'm going to win a ring, And he decided that I'm going to take all the pressure off of my return from my injury. I can take as long as I need and get fully healthy. That is the best thing for Boogie Cousins. You can hate him, you can be angry about it, but the truth is, Boogie Cousins did what was best for him. And I say that who cares what anybody else thinks? You got to do what's best for you. I think it's interesting. I'm in the middle of a controversy. I am considering transferring schools. And I was very transparent. I was very honest with how I felt. I felt frustrated with my old college, and I want a better situation. And I offended all kinds of people at my old college, something I feel bad about. But at the end of the day, I have to do what's best for me. I can't worry about the professor's feelings that I hurt because his career is not mine. Boogie Cousins shouldn't worry about how his decision affects everybody else. He should do what's best for him. Very similarly to Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas could have signed for more money. I respect it. I don't know that I think Boogie Cousins' situation is clearly better than Isaiah Thomas's. Boogie Cousins is going to probably get a better contract. Isaiah Thomas may not. But I respect what Isaiah Thomas did. He took a risk. He said, I'm going to bet on myself. I believe in my abilities, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to earn more money. I respect both Boogie Cousins and Isaiah Thomas for slightly different reasons. I respect Isaiah Thomas for taking a risk and doing something that may not work out. And I respect Boogie Cousins for saying, I don't care what anybody else says or thinks. I am going to do what's best for me. I'm going to get myself a ring. I'm going to fully heal from my injury, and I might have a chance for more money down the road because of this year I took off and used to improve my brand in the locker room and on the court. That's all I have to say, but I just think that people are all wrong about Boogie Cousins, and I think we should have a little bit more open mind about it. And I think that Isaiah Thomas, there's a clear parallel there between Boogie Cousins and Isaiah Thomas, both of them taking less money to potentially earn more money down the road. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember, if you want to help Strong Opinion Sports grow, you can share this with your friends on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow Strong Opinion Sports by telling your friends about this show. And always remember, you can subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports on iTunes, on SoundCloud, everywhere you can find a podcast, as well as YouTube. My full entire podcast is on YouTube, as well as shorter, more interesting clips like this. So thank you so much. Have a great day, and take care.